Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue version. Today we take on Cinnabar City Gym. So let's begin. So we're able to get in due to us having the secret key. Yo, champ in the making. The hot-headed Blaine is a fire Pokemon pro. Douses spirits with water. You better take some burn heals. Okay, so the gimmick of this gym is there are Pokemon quizzes. Get the right answer, the door opens to the next room. Get it wrong and face a trainer. If you want to conserve your Pokemon for the gym leader, then get it right. Here we go. Caterpie evolves into Butterfree. I mean, yes, it does eventually. Oh. I thought it was a trick question and wanted a Metapod. Whoops! Can I still battle you? I was a thief, but I became straight as a trainer. Okay, you can still battle them even if you get the incorrect. I thought I was being the smart aleck there. Okay, so the Cinnabar City Gym is a fire type gym. We are going to be still leveling up Terror as we come through this gym. Get a critical hit with Fly. Okay, a Vulpix. Alright, knock it out with Fly. Terror already putting in some good work. Ninetales. Okay, this might be a little more challenging for him. But we're going to use Fly again. Goes for Ember, but it missed because we are up in the air. We hit it, take it down to half health. It uses Tail Whip to lower our defenses. But who cares if we have lower defenses if we're in the air? Okay, Fly. Knock it out. Uses Ember. We will take some damage from it due to us not really resisting it and it being special. Oh no, I think we were resistant. Whatever. I surrender. Okay. So we hear a door open. I think if you... Do you know how hot fire Pokemon Fire can get? Okay, I think if we just battle them, it opens the door automatically. I hate this sprite. The super nerd. Another Vulpix. Flamethrower. So Flamethrower is a fairly strong fire type move. But usually a lot of these fire types, you kind of have to get them to a fairly high level to learn it. It's one of like the moves that Charizard learns that is actually really good for it. But unfortunately, like Vulpix learns it fairly late. I think so does Growlithe. So that's kind of where their downside is when if you choose them as team members. Let's go with Swift. Get some damage in on it. Critical hit. Uses Roar, but unaffected. Now we're going to fly up. Dodges Tail Whip. Uses Quick Attack, but since we're in the air, we still miss, so it wasted 2 turns on us, and now Swift. Alright, and we go to level 35. Go here, the door open. Let's look here. Pokemon quiz. Get it right and the door opens. Okay. Wrong and then face a trainer. If you want to conserve your blah blah blah. We heard this. Okay, there are 9 certified Pokemon League badges. In this game, no, there's only 8. If you watch the anime, yes, there are more. Once again, we're on battle. So I know in the first season, Gary, I think Ash's rival, had 10 at one point. So that's kind of a slightly mean question, because if you actually watch the show, it's a different answer, but this did come out before the anime, so. Oh, Charmander. So with this, kind of a funny thing. This means that out of all the starter Pokemon, Squirtle is the only one who does not appear in a gym. Charmander, as we just saw, appears in Cinnabar, and we saw Bulbasaur back in Erica's gym. So, it's kind of funny, if you're trying to just see everything with the Pokédex, you either have to pick Charmander, so your rival picks Squirtle, or you pick Squirtle to actually see all 3 base form of the starters for your Pokédex. If you don't, then you're going to miss out on Squirtle. So if you pick Bulbasaur, you actually miss out on seeing a starter. At least in the gyms. Maybe there's a trainer randomly with one. Okay. The next quiz. Yes, we know. Okay. Poliwag evolves 3 times. So, it evolves into Poliwhirl, 1. Evolves into Poliwrath, 2. And it does have Politoed later, but this is before it, so it should only be 2, so no. Yeah, we got it correct. And even still, it's a split evolution, so it would not count it as 3 times. But this quiz is arguably easier than I would say the one for Gold and Silver. But that's only because of like the apricot, I think, question. It's like it asks if Pokeballs are made from like apricorns or apricots, and I think that's like from the original game. Like, it's weird. Like, that was the one question that always tripped me up. Oh, I just saw Terra's speed stat. Let me look at them real quick. Speed stat of 113. I wonder if anyone else is close to that. Kaiser. I think Gachapon was only a 94, so no. I know Parasy is not it. 45. Oh my. Well, its attack stat's pretty decent. Compared to 60 for Isis. That 16 attack is funny. Gachapon, 133, so yep, that makes sense. And then... No! And Gimbu, 91. Alright, well, back to the gym. Well, I mean, while I'm out here, why don't I heal? Curse me pressing A way too fast. Okay. Okay, let's continue on. Got past that guy, and we were right here. Pokemon quiz. Alright. Are thunder moves effective against ground element type Pokemon? No, ground types are immune to electricity, so... I do kind of like that this 7th gym is kind of quiz-based. Because it uses your knowledge throughout the game. Oh, and we see Rapidash, they evolve form a Ponyta, and what the chairman's favorite Pokemon. But I do like it because it's like, okay, did you catch a Caterpie? You know, did you evolve it? If you did, you could answer that first question right. If you didn't, you might not actually know it. I mean, if you watch the anime, you could figure it out. The Poliwag, another one where you, if you use Poliwag, you may figure it out, but you might be able to piece that one together because no Pokemon evolves 3 times, technically. If you count Mega Evolution as an actual evolution, then yes. But if not, the, you know, 9 gym badges, have you been paying attention to how many, you know, your badge numbers, all that. Pokemon of the same kind and level are not identical. Oh, I didn't read that question. Sorry, bad call. So here we see, if we get it wrong, they come and walk over to value. I wasn't paying attention and I didn't read the question, so I just kind of guessed. I said no, and that was incorrect. Fly! Fuse Ray. But we dodged it. Get the knockout with Fly. Next is Growlithe. We fought many of these. Same strategy. We fly up. And then we hit it. Almost knockout. But Swift should finish the job. And yep, this is our last gym trainer. And next is Blaine. TM28 contains Tombstoner. No, that's not a move. So if you never like, fire is weak to H2O. We can get H2O. So if you never actually picked up TM28 or looked at it and you're just guessing, maybe you would have thought that, but I feel like that one's like really weird. So I never had an issue with that question. Okay. And let's hit it with Swift. Okay, yeah. We're not going to be too out-leveled. We're still going to be under-leveled for Blaine, but nothing too bad. And this is a way to make it a little more challenging. Ooh, flamethrower. Come on, Terror. Yes. Alright. Last knockout. Okay. And now, Blaine. Ha! I am Blaine. I am the leader of Cinnabar's Gym. My fiery Pokemon will incinerate all challengers. Ha! You better have Burn Heal. So Blaine, the Quizmaster, the fiery Quizmaster, has 4 Pokemon in red and blue version, but in yellow he only has 3. So in red and blue he starts off with a level 42 Growlithe. I'm just going to go for Hyper Beam. Where in yellow version he starts off with a level 48 Ninetales. So he used 2 Super Potions to basically reset where we were. Nothing too big. He uses Agility to speed up Growlithe. But we still outspeed it and can hit it with Hyper Beam, getting the knockout. And Terror gains another level. Okay, next he sends out Ponyta. And I'm just going to Hyper Beam again. Okay. And we get the knockout. Okay, next for both versions, his third in red and blue, but second in yellow version is a Rapidash. We'll keep Terror out. In red and blue, Rapidash is level 42, but in yellow, it's level 50. So much higher level. So luckily, Terror does resist Blaine's normal and fire type moves. So that kind of helps out make up for his level difference. Okay, we're seeing here Fire Spin does do the same thing as Wrap. So it keeps you in there, damaging you over time. I'm trying to lower down Rapidash enough so I can guarantee a knockout. Right, not very effective, but we are low on health. So a Swift will take out Rapidash. And now Blaine sends out his final Pokemon, Arcanine. Arcanine is the final form of Growlithe, using a Firestone. In red and blue, he's 47, where in yellow, he is 54. So I'm going to try Supersonic first to confuse it, to hopefully let it hit itself, yes. Then I'm going to use Fly to get up. Okay, it's no longer confused. We hit it with this. Does take down but misses. Let's try Hyper Beam and see if we can get the knockout. Even though we're 10 levels lower. We unfortunately didn't, but he does use a Super Potion to bring it up. And he uses Fire Blast, the strongest fire type move in the game. And when you see it, it does create a little pattern that is supposed to be the kanji for fire, but it kind of looks like a person. Okay. So let's send out Isis. She does have the advantage with Bubble Beam. But this takedown will probably hit hard, but here's kind of an advantage of her being so physically weak. Is that she takes a lot of damage from takedown, but survives. But that means he takes a lot of recoil damage from takedown. And we have defeated Blaine and earned the Volcano Badge. Ha! The Volcano Badge heightens the special abilities of your Pokemon. Okay, real quick before we move on. So, throughout some of these gym battles, it has mentioned the badge is raising a certain ability of your Pokemon. This actually adds a 25% boost to your Pokemon's stats. And this has been building up throughout the game. So this is like one of our last one. This is our last one, I believe, where we get our special raised. So here, you can have this too. We received TM38. It contains Fire Blast. Teach it to Fire-type Pokemon. Charmeleon or Ponyta would be good bets. Okay, by now, your Charmeleon should definitely be a Charizard, and your Ponyta could probably be a Rapidash, unless you, well, you might have just caught it, so maybe not, but okay. And we have defeated the Cinnabar City Gym. And next, we're going to head out onto the water on our way to the Seafoam Islands. But first, let's heal up. Okay. Real quick, I'm going to save my game because I'm going to try something and we're going to see how this turns out. Let me okay. Yes, I know this might be a little weird. If you know what's going on, you will understand what I am doing. It's just, I don't exactly remember how all this works. And this is also just in case a certain thing specifically happens. Okay. So, this stretch of land right here, next to Cinnabar Island, is really weird. I think I need to do something in particular to get it to trigger. Okay. Stick with me. We're going to do something kind of weird. We'll fly to Viridian City real quick, which this is where we're going to end up going in just a bit. But I specifically want to talk to this guy. I want to say no. I'm not in a hurry. And yes, I want to see this catching tutorial. So, this is a unique battle. You're supposed to see this like early on. This is the only time a non-Pokemon is in battle with a Pokemon. And he's just showing you how to catch this Weedle. But this leads to a weird glitch happening. And I'm trying to trigger it. Okay, now when you go back to Cinnabar, and if everything is right, we should theoretically get a very unique encounter. I may not be 100% on this. Alright, let's see if it worked. Okay. This was not what I necessarily expected, but we run into a level 132 Electrode. Can't escape. It uses Explosion. So, that old man causes a glitch along this area. It's in between Cinnabar and Route 20. And because of it, random Pokemon can now spawn here. There's a whole bunch of things to it. And this is a very glitched area. Now I'm seeing if I can especially run into one thing in particular. Another Electrode. Okay, and now talking about these levels. We're seeing 131 or 32. So, yes, these Pokemon are technically that level, but they're not supposed to. The highest level a Pokemon can be is 100. What happens is with these Pokemon, you can level them up, but when you do that, it will roll them back to level 100. Oh, coughing? Level 35. That's not that unusual. But doesn't look like I'm getting the thing I was really after. So I'm going to pause here real quick, and I'm going to kind of go back and forth to see if I can find what I'm looking for. I think we're now getting like Pokemon Mansion encounters. Because both of those are Pokemon Mansion Pokemon. Let's see if we get another one. Okay, nope. We're back to Electrode. I think if I get in a battle with someone, it will change up what spawns. So I'm going to intentionally go find someone real quick, battle them, come back and see if it changes up the encounters. So I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I fought a random trainer and I'm going to see if things change up here. Yep, we now have Eradicate, level 30. So, what I was looking for is something referred to as missing no, or missing number. It's a really weird glitch Pokemon. Well, it's not technically a Pokemon. I think it was a Pokemon that was programmed in but never completed. I'm not 100% sure on this, how it works. But basically, due to these glitches and all that, you can run into this like jumble of just like random data. And it can be really weird levels. And if you catch it, like one of your items gets duplicated like basically an infinite amount of times. I think there's also rumors, at least, of it corrupting your save data, so definitely be careful if you're doing this. But a unique thing about it is the removed flying type, not flying type, bird type. So before flying type, there was the bird type. I think now we're running into encounters from the Route 21. So let me quickly go back to that old man, see if we can get more weird things to happen. But so I believe this glitch is from the fact that that area is in between basically two sections of the map. They're kind of overlapping, and it creates this like glitchy area. And this is what causes these random spawns to happen. And it's like, even still, it's like, because the idea is you're still on Cinnabar Island, but there's no encounters for Cinnabar. So it loads in the encounters for the route you were just in. But when you do this, oh man, this creates a unique scenario where you're not on a route. It basically is pulling from part of the memory where there's no data or a lack of data. And this is what causes these random Pokemon to spawn. I think it does something with your secret ID or stuff like that. There's a whole thing, you can look it up if you're really interested in this. But this is just one of the most famous glitches for kind of red and blue. There's other glitches, but I wanted to show off at least one of them. Oh, a Tangela. I think we're still trapped in that previous route, but I think this might add random encounters of a different kind. But I really wanted to show it off just for the fun of it. Yeah, no, I think we're now stuck in Route 20 encounters. But that was kind of the last thing I wanted to show for Cinnabar. I always feel like Cinnabar is famous for kind of that glitch in these original games. Okay, now you see I warped us to Viridian City, and I wanted to talk about one last kind of famous playground rumor. And it has to do with the SSN area. Unfortunately, we're unable to get to it because the ship has already set sail. But if you were able to get over there, and you could look at more on the map, there's a little piece of land that has a truck on it. And this truck was always famous, mainly dealing with the Pokemon Mansion and all that too, connected because of Mew. It was said that if you're able to move that truck, if you got over there, use strength on the truck, you would move it and you would find Mew. So people always attempted to try to get to that truck, use strength on it to access Mew. That was not true. That's not an actual thing. There's actually no explanation of why the truck's there. It's probably just the leftover from when they were designing the area. But you are technically able to get over there. You just have to do certain things kind of weird. Because you need Cut to be able to get Surf. And the only way to get Cut is to complete the SSN. Unless you trade over a Pokemon that knows the move Surf. Yes, you're supposed to have gym badges to use certain HMs. At least that's what the game tells you, but you don't actually need the gym badges to use these HMs. So if you trade over a Pokemon with Surf, you can access it early. And there's like a way you lose a battle on the ship and you're able to get to that area. I'm not 100% sure how to do it. I don't really deal too much with glitches in this game besides kind of that missing no one. But it's just a unique thing. That's a famous thing, glitches. So, and they all happen, like they happen around water areas. It's just kind of funny because those two glitches happen near the water. There are other famous glitches. There is the level 100 Nidoking you can get in Viridian Forest by encountering a battle in such a way. There's Glitch City. And then there's also like the ways to start a game and glitch it so you immediately beat it in a matter of seconds. If you look at the speed run for glitch allowed in Pokemon Red and Blue, the speed run for it's like a few seconds because you're able to just glitch all the way to the end. But that's kind of it for all these glitches that I kind of want to talk about. So next time on Pokemon Blue version, we head to the Seafoam Islands and face another legend. See you next time.